Hello, here's Naj. Day 3. We had one day off, meaning walking and hand grazing and grooming. That way, those lower back muscles will come alive. Now the blood flow is more. You can see, even though I had the previous one in slow-mo, so you could capture his strides and body behavior better. Believe me, he didn't have this much impulsion the first day. And anyway, it's coming from behind. And he's not grabbing with the front, pulling his body. So with all that vitality, you can see his self-carriage is coming now. It's not going to last a whole long time because the lactic acid builds up quickly. And but you still need to remember that older horses bringing them along, it's not just physical, it's mental. Today was muddy, and a couple spots in there were slick, but you can see that even when he slips, he doesn't lose his tempo and his character over ground and the freedom of his mind. Right now we're going to be doing more just self-balancing positions. So what I mean by that is I use a la 2-track movements or counter bending or shoulder out, and lifting his nose, which you can see today he's voluntarily lifting his head and neck out of the way because he likes the tickle of those back muscles. And before he comes into what sport horse people call coming into frame, we want to make sure that the impulsion and the carriage of the haunches are straight and true. You'll notice I'm going to the right now, so that's left hind on the outside. So I'm not having to babysit him a huge amount counter bend. And when I turn him around, you'll see that he'll need me more. So it looks fresh and chirpy, and to remind those of you that may not have seen the first one, there's a slight slope in here. So as I go up the hill, he can volunteer his stride. And as I go down the hill, I'll ask him to, I just half halt on the weight of the rein. Again, he knows long reining, so he enjoys the babysitting. He's not resentful of me doing half halts on that outside rein, keeping that outside hind negotiating underneath him. So with all this vitality today and happiness, it's funny how happy horses get when they start getting liberated from the pulling of gravity, especially the big movers, big horses. They start lifting over the ground, and that suspension that you see comes from the back. It does not come from the conformation. What comes from the conformation is the way they go over the ground. The suspension in between footsteps comes from that lower back. And in a sense, even though he hasn't got the power that he will, he feels the equilibrium. So the main objective here is to keep him in a good frame of mind and his frame going over ground freely and self-balanced. You'll notice also I start off on the left, but later on I'll be starting off on the right hind going to the left. As he, and you can see there, he's gotten softer in his mind, and that's how quickly the lactic acid can build up. But this is what I love about long reining. Without weight on their back and without side reins, they can lower and lengthen their head. So as his muscles become developed again, and it's much faster again on older horses because, like I said earlier, the computer chip for those muscles has already been established, and I'm waking them up again, as opposed to a young horse when you're putting them there and actually growing them from nothing to something is a longer process, or a more gradual process than an older horse. And you'll see in the next 10 days, he'll bring himself up into frame, even a third level frame, 3-4 strides, and then he'll go long and carry himself long in a training frame.